In the state of doing nothing, you, after all, you give something to the mind. Okay, let me wait. Let the knowledge reveal by itself. So you might have seen in all many hundreds of different practices of meditation that I give. The last step is common. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. Now we'll share our experiences. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good. My body, I guess my mind tries to get me to really like be distracted. Like today I was super itchy, and I'm not, I don't really have any itches. So I had to decide not to go there a lot, but it worked.
It worked, yes. It is the mind that is the cause of the problem. The mind experiences the itchiness, not the body. Once we have that awareness,
you'll need to unlock your device first.
so you can get out of it. How are you, Sam?
I didn't understand that.
Even I put it on the silent mode and still, Google Assistant. Perhaps it might be doing meditation. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I would say it was one of the ones where I would say I definitely lost control of my body a little bit, which was good. So I was away from it. I there were a couple times where I had to catch my head from moving this way, but I was aware of being conscious but not where my body was moving. But it was similar, spacious, quiet, good.
Quiet. That's good. Deeper. That's a deeper. That's what happens. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. My meditation was extremely quiet. It was I'll use the term expansive.
That's good.
In the especially with the first part of the breathing, of going from the crown to the tailbone. I felt that I went past the crown and I went past the tailbone. And it wasn't until the second time that we went and dropped the Om in the reverse method that I felt where I was hitting the points, that I was at my crown, I was at the heart, I was at the belly button, I was at the middle of the forehead. But outside of that, just total silence, total calmness. Yeah, there's no thoughts, there was nothing outside of exactly what we were doing, and it was over fast, like always.
That's really good. It's a deeper, but one thing, don't start teaching these things, but the way you have experienced that it bypassed the crown of the head and it bypassed the tailbone. So what happens, we have a permanent peace, consciousness just 4 inches above the forehead. So normally that when we do this practice, the mind pours peace and quietness and the silence from there. It is just above. It is not inside. So once it enters, we experience. So that's a good part. Hey, how are you, Terry?
I'm pretty good. I was having a hard time settling. I couldn't
Settling.
get
But after,
my face shut, but I still went to a place of, I didn't get annoyed about it. I was calm. I was aware of it. I was aware
beautiful.
of the truth of the messages. I knew I just needed more time before I'm comfortable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I
But
still,
you did wonderful. I could see.
uh-huh.
Keep smiling.
I smiled
Yeah.
because I felt the feeling, and it was a very happy feeling that I could see last
Good.
night. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. How are you, Lara? Terry, I and Terry met in 2007 only. And since then, we are more or less together. How are you, Lara?
I am good. I at the beginning of the meditation, I got very, very, very heavy,
Yeah.
and then I experienced this big lightness and almost this spaciousness during the meditation. And it was very quick. The other thing, the woman that I've had like last week, she keeps coming. I see her very clearly. And I see the earrings and the the nose ring, and it's very interesting how I see what the sari that she's wearing. Um, so I could like draw, if I could draw very well, could draw her. I also ended up in an art museum that I've been to before as well during the meditation, which was very interesting. And then I was outside of another building that I also know, but not in the same country. So I don't know if there's like what those symbols are, or those past impressions of places that I've been. Just
Impressions. One thing is clear that when we see them, the mind is already deeper within.
okay.
So first thing, the mind is deeper within. Sometimes the mind lives with these past impressions, and after that, it drops completely. You enter into the higher state. Wonderful, beautiful experience. So how are you, Christina? So we have 2, 3 people here.
Good morning. I had a very calm and quiet experience. It was almost fast, but then at the same time, it wasn't. I almost don't know how to explain it right now, but it was I was able to hear. I feel like I didn't listen to you almost, but like I was there the whole time. Like I was
Beautiful.
bummed at the end. I like was like, oh, he's finishing up, but I didn't hear him. I wanted to like hear, I don't know, I was just interesting, but I was able to like, I heard like my family moving around at some points, but it was just like a little like tap, and
Uh,
then it was like gone. So it was nice to feel that I can finally be
look at
here
your
and let
face.
that
Look
go.
at your face. Look at your expression
Mhm.
now and couple of weeks before. You see the difference? The difference takes place because you have started realizing that the peace is your essential nature. You have nothing to do with those words that you used to say before. I don't want to repeat. Why should I do it? Huh? That needs to be understood. That's a wonderful, Christina. You are changing. Regular practice. How are you, John? My friend John. We have only 3, 4 people. Normally, women are more than men. So
So I felt very stable this morning. So
yes, I
I
could
felt
see
stable
that.
in my body, and my breath was stable, and I was able to focus. I found it challenging to de-link the mantra from the breath, though.
Yes.
So that was very
Yes.
challenging.
Yes. And that challenge comes because the mind does not want to go deep inside. That is why it holds on to some objects, something outside. But by regular practice, that happens. That happens. Do you remember the breath 24 by 7? No, you don't remember. You are talking and you're doing all this stuff. So you normally bypass the breath subconsciously, habitually. But when it comes to do it consciously, mind says, I will take over you. You cannot take over me. So that is why the regular practice. Beautiful, John. So how are you, Kate?
I had it was interesting. Um, I went very deep very quickly, and then kind of came out. There was heaviness,
Quickly.
and then I went back in. Lots of heavy, like dropped the body, kind of heavy. I don't know how to say that, but again, I don't know the words. And then initially, like John, when you were saying, and you came in and out, like. I mean, you were always there, but I wasn't always.
There.
No, I mean, I was there, but not necessarily. All of a sudden, you were at a different place.
Yeah, different place.
You know what
With
I mean?
variety of, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
in practice and listening to you and following what you were doing, but yet at the same time, there was like this. There, it was so fluid that it wasn't like it was quick. Anyway, and then I went into that deep place again, and then I didn't want to really at that. I wasn't ready for when you were ready to end. I wasn't.
Yeah, that is what happens. We normally do by 30 or 35 minutes every day. That's a so every time we have to learn from our experiences. That is extremely important.
And it was interesting
It
because
is,
consciously I
yeah.
didn't remember when I stopped. Like I remember that at first I was like, oh wait, I'm not supposed to. You guided us to say, um, don't connect the movement with the breath. So at first I was like, what? And then all wasn't, but I didn't. It wasn't like consciously. All of a sudden I was trying to stop, if that makes sense. I don't know. And then I
Yeah,
noticed
yeah,
doing that anymore after I.
yeah. It makes sense. That is what, when the mind lives in the purified state, it simply reflects. It does not link. So when it links, it's a kind of an identification. And we all suffer from identity crisis. What is that identity crisis? Go to the class. Come on, I'm the teacher. How the hell you students are doing like this? So I identify myself with the teacher. Same way I identify myself with the body, the breath, the impressions, the past, and there is a long list. So once that identification drops, you become free. Do you identify with your nose pin, earring, necklace, or you identify with one gold?
Mm.
See that? So do I identify with the Stephen, Sam, or Lara, and de-identify with the Brandy, Christina? It is the same thing. You identify with the real self. And the moment you identify with the real self, the mind merges. Mind is no more. But if I identify with a particular object, time and space, that is what we discussed today. That is what we discussed. Time, space, object.
Right.
So when you identify with it, gone. Then what will happen? I identify myself with the Sam. Then I will say, Sam is better than Stephen. Or I will say, and there's a lot, millions of things will come to my mind. Millions. But is there any need for any identification? The answer is no. And when we drop all this, the mind becomes totally free. The real self takes over the mind. We are the master of ourselves. Don't start saying I'm the master of the universe. So you know that you find
Job.
no, there are our fraternity. In our fraternity, there are people you might be seeing on the YouTube and other. That's not our journey. We don't want to be a master of the universe. We want to be the master of our own self. That is the journey of humanity. Yes, any question that you like to ask?